Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. As you will see, I am in my usual surroundings, but Lewis is not at the Gas Digital Studios. Contrary to all his flippant remarks and conspiracy theorists and all the rest of it, oh, look at this. Self-isolating, social quarantining. He's sitting at home with his exposed brick. I mean, I must say, the apartment looks nice, Lewis.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Bisping. And I'll tell you right now, let me fix this. I want to make sure it's a perfect angle. I get a little OCD with this. You have the fucking life. The reason I'm not complaining about the self-quarantining is because for me, it's just made my life easier. Just being able to come into my living room, set up my camera, set up a microphone, and be able to just talk shit and then go back, play some video games, maybe masturbate, make some coffee, eat, high five the neighbors. It's a different.
Whoa. It was going so well until you said high five the neighbors. Dude, 6 feet apart, 2 meters, no hand touching, no hugging, no kissing, no hand touching. Okay, but continue with this hypothetical scenario. Just don't include the high fiving. That's going to give me nightmares.
You go to an old folks' home and just start coughing on everything.
Well, did you see that? That happened yesterday. Seriously, in the news, there's some little shits in the UK. They were going up to old people and purposely coughing in their faces.
Oh, didn't somebody beat them up? Didn't I see something? Who beat up these kids? That's hilarious, by the way. Somebody beat the shit out of these fucking kids. Good.
No, well, it was this guy. He's a highly explosive guy called Tommy Robinson. There's claims that he's racist against Muslims and things like that. But he saw this going on.
I've seen this guy. Yeah.
So I don't really want to discuss him too much because, as I say, he is very explosive. And peace to all men and women and children everywhere. I don't give a fuck about your religion or whatever. But he did see this and he got into an altercation with them, and one of them had punched an old lady. So, I mean, that's just disgusting. And then I saw a video on Twitter yesterday, some kid in a supermarket going down, licking all the things in the aisles, just like getting his germs and saliva all over everything. So I hope he gets found and, I don't know, thrown in jail. I mean, what would that be? A hate crime? Purposely, potentially spreading the coronavirus, or at the very least, spitting on things. I mean, that's gross.
It wouldn't be a hate crime unless you went to an Asian neighborhood and started licking things, which that's like a hate crime against yourself. That sounds like a goddamn nightmare. Like if you targeted a specific type of person. But even with old people, technically, all right. So what if this is actually interesting because I don't really believe in hate crime. Like, that idea seems a little bit out there because, how do you sort of quantify hate? So at that point, do you go, all right, well, is it a hate crime because they're targeting old people to cough on? Because it is a type of person, and we've never sort of had to deal with discrimination against old people before.
Well, it's called ageist. It exists. There's a term for it, just like sexist, feminist, chauvinist, ageist. Okay?
So do you think they should be charged with a hate crime for coughing on old people?
Yeah, definitely dragged into the street and put them in stocks like they used to do in the old fashioned days. Put them in stocks and people just walk by and throw vegetables at them. Maybe not vegetables. They're a rare commodity these days, but certainly a whip. Yeah. Whip them, kick them, slap their asses, ridicule them, maybe
rub their bodies with Purell, throw toilet paper at them, throw all the things we need. Throw it right at them.
Talking of toilet roll, there's no toilet roll pandemic in our house because the Omega bidets that we got, they're installed, 2 of them at the house. I installed one of them in the past, but it was like the mini one because it's less complicated to install. But I finally did like the big singing, dancing one. It has a heated seat. It has lights. It has a dryer. And I got to say, they're pretty amazing. So all you people suffering to acquire toilet roll out there, I feel your pain. but I just can't resonate with it because, you know, we got B-days around here, pal.
Can you please, for the love of God, whatever you do, stop calling them B-days?
What do you want me to call them? A bidet?
Yes.
They're pronounced B-day, whatever. Bidet, B-days. This
B-day
is not,
sounds like it's like your birthday.
yeah,
Like,
well, I guess it does. If you were one of those douchebags that called it, yo, what's up? Hold on, Lucas, what?
It's called a bidet, not a bidet.
Come over here, say that into the microphone.
Thank you, Lucas.
Not a bidet, not bidet.
Also, wait, hold on, Lucas.
Come here. I'll put that in.
Lucas.
Lean into the microphone.
Also, tell your dad how you agree that the coronavirus was created by governments to come together to destroy the world economy.
That is not true.
Yeah, see?
Damn it!
Lucas,
Damn it,
get
Lucas.
out. Get out. Even though you agreed with me and you made Lucas look stupid, out. Love you, buddy. Love you, buddy. We won't go into that, but why would people want to destroy the world's economy?
I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Yeah, don't worry, ladies and gentlemen listening to the show. We said to ourselves, we're not going to discuss the coronavirus. We're going to try and steer away from that. We got Daniel Cormier calling in. We got Gilbert Burns after his massive win over Damian Maia. He's calling in as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. But we are going to try and do our best to pretend that the world isn't falling apart. The world's economies are melting. Our pets' heads are falling off, but we're just going to ignore it because people are bitching and complaining. I'm talking of bitching and complaining, Lewis, right? On social media at the weekend, because as we know, schools are closed, right? And apparently I saw Margot Robbie. You know Margot Robbie, the beautiful actress, right?
In my opinion, the hottest actress alive.
I thought so when I saw her on Wolf of Wall Street, right? But when you see her not in Wolf of Wall Street, she's not that person. She's a good actress.
So is Harley Quinn? Are you fucking kidding me?
The lips are a little too thin, and the top lip is a little pointy and a little thin for my liking.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
And she looks like she's got a mustache about to break through at any second.
She's perfect. You look like a fucking ogre. Are you out of your mind? How dare you?
I have been called Shrek. I have been likened to Shrek on occasion, okay? Thank you, Lewis. You've touched a sore spot there, certainly while I'm wearing a green T-shirt. No.
Pull up Margot Robbie while we talk about her, just in case anybody doesn't know the gorgeous angel that we are speaking of. But continue,
Margot Robbie in Wolf of Wall Street is one of the most beautiful creatures on this earth. She's stunning. She's beautiful. But she doesn't look like that all the time, okay? I mean, there she is there. The lips look good there. They look full. Oh, the picture on the right, middle right, thin top lip. There we go.
Yeah, you're right, Bisping. Thin top lip.
we're grasping. Thin top lip. There we go. I'm joking. No, she is beautiful. Of course she is. Anyway, screw that. So I'm looking on Instagram, and she puts a post on there, and she says, listen, because all the schools have closed, 30 million children, sorry, pardon me, say that again. 30 million children are going to go without meals because, as we know, unfortunately, there's a lot of people, a lot of children living in poverty and stuff, and the only real regular meal they get is at school. And she said there's this service. All you got to do is text SAVE to 20222, and it just goes on your phone bill. You don't need to mess around, put in your bank details and all this type of stuff. And I thought, wow, that's great. So I do it, and sure enough, flawless, easy, SAVE 20222. And I think, wow.
How much?
$10. That's all.
That's not bad.
$10. So I go on Instagram. I say, look, listen, and I basically repeat the message. And I say, if you can afford it, can you please go ahead and do this? Right? Pardon me if I'm trying to do some good. My God, the amount of bullshit, the amount of haters. You've changed. What's wrong with you? I'm struggling as it is. You're sitting there in your mansion telling people like me to donate money. I said, first of all, if you can afford it. And secondly, Jesus Christ, if you can afford it, why wouldn't you want to help out starving children? You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to get serious at the top of the show. I'm not. But I'm just saying, if you're one of those guys, fuck off to TikTok and fucking take your hatred over there. Okay, you prick?
Well, here's the thing. I think their perspective on it, and we joke around. So we joke around about the half mansion, and they had that Imagine video the other day that came out. I fucked around and I was like, oh, I could see you in that video. It's just not true. I think that's ultimately what they're saying is like, oh yeah, Bisping, why are you telling us to donate when you're rich? Number one, you did donate. Number two, you do donate to other charities. I watch you do this all the time. You post things, you donate to people in need all the time. But the reality is this. you have a decent amount of influence, right? So if you can also post something and 100 people donate another $10, it's $1,000. There's probably 500 Puerto Rican kids in the Bronx that could fucking have lunch for the next month. Because, so there's no downside in that at all. I think there is downside when there's people just singing a song being like, look, guys, everything's going to be all right if you just have positive energy. Like, just shut the fuck up. It's so cringy. Well, you're doing something very practical.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to help starving children. Sorry, I apologize, okay? So I put, all right, fuck the children. Sorry if I'm clogging up your timeline. And as you say, it sounds clogging up my timeline.
No, clogging fuck the children.
Exactly, fuck the children. I'm like, sorry about that. But as you say, I wasn't there standing literally in my massive Hollywood Bel Air, Beverly Hills mansion, singing out of tune. What was it? Imagine All the People. Imagine All the People by John Lennon. Fucking hell, I'm sure he's turning in his grave because it was pretty bad. I'll tell you what was equally as bad. And I commend them for trying to spread a little positivity, okay? Trying to inject our lives with a little bit of ray of sunshine, perhaps a bit of positivity, a bit of light. But a certain sector of MMA fighters decided to take that ball and run with it, and they recreated the Face the Pain theme tune from the UFC. I know you've seen this. Well, you haven't actually seen it yet, have you, Lewis?
I have not seen it yet, but that's hilarious.
It involves some fighters, some good fighters, and Angela Hill. She's awesome. I'm a big fan of her. But without further ado, I don't want to tease anybody anymore. And he also explained this. I love Ariel Helwani. I love Ariel Helwani, the best journalist in the game. He breaks the stories. He's a great guy. He's a personal friend. He's an awesome interviewer. But he's not one of the fighters. But, good old Ariel finds a way to get in there. Anything for a little bit of a shine on Ariel. He's there. Love you, buddy, if you're listening to this, by the way. But go ahead, Brian.
Watching a lot of videos, and I came across this one where these celebrities are in their big houses just singing about how we're all facing the same problem with this disease. And I wanted to do my own song, and I wanted to express how we're all facing this pain together. So it goes like this.
COVID-19. Time to end this suffering.
I need a minute to myself.
So I can slip away.
You will never get to me.
What can't be done, I'll do myself.
So I can slip away.
Watch you rise, watch you fall.
Watch you losing control.
Now I'm seeing red.
Watch you rise, watch you fall.
Now I'm about
to break.
Watch you rise, watch you fall. Fall.
Watch you rise, losing control.
War inside my head.
watch you rise, watch you fall.
Now I'm on to break.
Stop.
You will never get.
Oh, it was getting good there. That bit was looking good. Painful. Listen, I love everybody involved in that video. They're all good people. But come on. If ever, they want to say face the pain. I'm hearing the pain. I'm seeing the pain. It is my ear holes are bleeding after hearing that. Come on. Thank God they can fight because fuck me, they cannot sing. But fair play. I like it.
Can I tell you the problem right now is everyone's quarantined. Everyone's got a cell phone. Everyone's got apps so they can do shit like this easily. And now everyone's just figuring it out in real time. So it's like we actually touched on this on the last show. Like me and you have been doing a podcast like this for a long time. Before that, me and you figured out how to broadcast together by doing it over ISDN line, which was audio only. We couldn't even read each other's facial cues. We had to listen and get used to a rhythm of hearing each other's voices and doing it without being in the same studio as each other. So it's kind of interesting to watch. I watch every comedian's going live right now. Every fighter's going live right now. They're all putting out extra funny little videos. And it's a bunch. Where's there some good stuff? There's a bunch of crap because there's a bunch of people that don't really have any sort of gauge and aren't really used to doing this type of content.
Yeah, well, that reminds me of the latest social media craze, Lewis, which goes by the name of TikTok. I mentioned it before.
You hate it.
I haven't signed up to TikTok, but the problem is that obviously you can cross promote on all different platforms, right? So no, I don't hate it per se, because some of the stuff I've seen on TikTok is it's pretty good, and I think, how the hell did they do that? You know, it's
okay,
quite
Boomer Girl.
It's quite, oh yeah, okay, Boomer Girl, she was good. I like that content. There's a certain coronavirus challenge, which I like the look of the girl. I don't necessarily like the challenge. It's a bit bad. In fact, Brian, if you can pull that up, actually.
Yeah, it's by a TikTok star, Ava Louise, who I don't know who this girl is. She was on another podcast I watched recently. She's a smoking hot chick, and I guess her challenge is good. Pull it up with audio.
Let's play.
It's Corona time. Hey, it's Corona time right now.
So she's on an
Corona
airplane in the
time.
bathroom. I turned the mic down, Jesus.
Jesus
That's the most
Christ.
annoying song I've
Jesus
ever heard.
Christ. There's the worst song ever. I don't care. As you said, Lewis, you were going to say, explain the video for the audio listener masses.
So smoking hot chick named Ava Louise, which, you know, look, God bless her soul. She does the coronavirus challenge on TikTok, and she's licking a toilet seat on an airplane. Which, I mean, is just irresponsible at best. But the reality is she probably disinfected it at first. It's not a real thing. Idiots that are doing this, just realize this shit probably disinfected it. She washed it. Like, if you do this, you're a fucking moron.
Well, you can see how well she's put together. You know what I mean? She's put together very well. She takes care of her appearance. She has the makeup all perfect. She has the hair done well. She's got the nails and all that. She looks like she bathes regularly. Probably brushes her teeth twice a day. So there's no way she's getting on her knees and licking a regular toilet seat, okay? It's all for the TikTok, all for the gram, as they say sometimes, you know, the kids say. I've never said for the gram. In fact, I think I have. I've definitely said it. But still, she's doing it for the tick, for the talk, right? Anyone out there that thinks she's licking a random toilet seat is crazy. But the question I want to know, as you rightly pointed out, she is a good-looking girl. Harrington, Brian, you're on a plane. She's on the plane, right? Coronavirus is just about breaking out. You're hearing about it, but she goes to the toilet. She gets on her knees. She licks the toilet seat. She comes out here. She wants to make out with you two. What do you say? Do you take that chance? I don't know who's going to answer the question, but go ahead.
Let's pull up some more images of her as well, because I'd like to see some more images, because you can't really get a good look there. She's actually better looking than that picture would have you believe.
So, Brian, your answer is no.
Yeah, absolutely not. If I knew that she just did that, no.
You're a liar. You're a liar. If she came out of that airplane and sat next to you and you're having a little, you know, I don't know what you're drinking, you're having a little Jack Daniels and Coke, you're having a little tipple, you're bumping elbows, you're getting together. Oh, look at this. See what I mean? You know, see, look. Two equally full top lips, no thin top lip bullshit. Margot Robbie ain't got shit on her.
Are you trying to compare this bitch to Margot Robbie? Let's not get fucking crazy,
it's
Michael
a
Bisping.
joke, Lewis. It's a joke. But let's see that this lady here, who by all whatever you want to call it, is not a bad looking girl. I mean, listen. Yeah. Let's just look at pictures of her all day. I particularly like that one in the middle. I like that one to the right with the shiny plastic. The one on the left with the nipples popping out isn't bad either. Okay, new format for Believe You Me podcast. We just talk about women.
New format. This is a segment on every show.
Every show. Hottest ladies on Instagram or TikTok this week. In fact, I tell you what, that would see the fucking YouTube page skyrocket. Skyrocket.
Fucking let's do it, baby boy. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, so anyway.
The society is over. What are they going to cancel us? They've canceled Earth.
Earth is cancelled.
Harrington can pull up MMA news, but I'll pull up the Instagram shit.
There you go. And we know which person will be more popular or which segment. So Brian, so you're on the plane, she comes out, she's sitting there, you're sharing a Jack Daniels and Coke, you're bumping elbows, and she says, yeah, I just did that TikTok challenge. I just licked the toilet seat in there, but I don't think there was any piss. But anyway, you're really cute. I like the way your hair is really long and tied back, kind of like Justin Bieber. You look like you're a little bit old to rock that hairdo, but still, you're rocking it. You're stuck in the 90s. Good for you. Give me a kiss, you sexy bastard. You're telling me you would say no?
I don't know, man. That chick's hips were pretty nice.
Yeah.
I'm changing my mind after the Instagram thing, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? Actually, on another note, that I was thinking about this recently because I was just down in Brazil. Don't you hate it? Because when you're on a plane, this is complete random point. Sorry, so I apologize. Have you ever done this? You're on a plane. When you're flying international or super long flight, you got to take your shoes off because your feet swell. You know, Lewis, you're looking around. You're looking perturbed. I see you, buddy. I see you. Attention.
No.
I'm over here. I'm over here.
I'm with you.
You're on the plane. You take your shoes off because the feet swell. You wait. You take a little nap. You wake up. You need a pee. You can't be bothered putting your shoes on again, so you just go to the bathroom. But, of course, hundreds of people are using that toilet. You open the door. You shut the door. You lock the door. You turn around. You unzip your pants. And what are you standing in? Piss. You are standing in piss, other people's piss on an airplane. Have you experienced this? Because I have, and I fucking hate it. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, we should be putting our shoes back on, but I have Vessi shoes, and I'm not going to get my Vessi shoes messed up. Think about how easy it would be with my Vessi shoes to slip them back on and slip them off.
The Vessi shoes are the perfect shoes. They're totally waterproof.
I know.
Piss-proof.
They really are. Yeah, I've done this specific thing. I haven't actually stepped in the piss. So if you stepped into the point where you feel the liquid through the sock on your foot?
On the way to Brazil, on the way back from Brazil. And I'm
Brazilian piss, the worst kind.
All kinds of diseases. Yeah,
and I was like, Belfort's relatives piss.
Yeah, you would have got fucking jacked if you licked that piss. If you go in and do the Tik Tok challenge after Vitor Belfort pisses in that toilet, you're going to fail a fucking USADA test, that's for sure. You're going to fucking, those biceps are going to be massive. Oh, geez, what are we talking about? I like it, though. Hey, I tell you what, though, I know we said we weren't going to talk coronavirus just now, just 5-10 minutes ago. UK is on lockdown, baby. UK is on lockdown. If you go outside, police will issue you with a fine. The army are going to be patrolling. And my brother is in the army, and he's going to be patrolling the streets. So you joked you come with the Gestapo last week, but.
Can we call your brother for the second show this week?
We will. We'll get my brother on the phone and we'll find out all about it. Try and hold your phone still because it's shaking left and right and it's actually making me feel very nauseous.
I apologize. It was okay. My hand hit the headphone wire. So, all right. So would I make out with this chick? Bisping, obviously, this is young, single Bisping, 20-year-old Bisping, DJ Mikey B. Before you met the very beautiful, very unlikely to do a coronavirus toilet licking challenge, Rebecca Bisping. But this is the young Michael Bisping, single alternative universe Michael Bisping. I would let this girl take a dump on my chest. I mean, without a doubt, she can do whatever she wants to me. I would marry her right now. And we could give our vows over a toilet seat for all I care. She's gorgeous, and I love her. And I don't care how retarded she is. I don't care how stupid she is. She's my goddamn.
No. The oldest saying in the world, well, not the oldest saying in the world, but a very well-known saying is that no matter how good-looking a girl is, somebody somewhere is sick of her shit. And I guarantee any chick out there that's licking a toilet say, I'm not. Yeah, listen, night of fun, bit of a good time, great. I'm not shacking up with her. I'm not living with her. I am not putting up with the fucking bullshit that comes out of her mouth.
Nobody's sick of her shit. She's sick of the shit she just licked off a toilet seat.
Yeah, it's gross. It's absolutely gross. So the answer is no. I don't know what you're going to ask, but the answer is no. All right. Okay. So what is going on in the world? As I say, we've got two guests calling in later, but what should we talk about? What's going on in the world of MMA? Harrington, have you got any subjects that you can tee us up on? Because I know you put some stuff in the notes, but I don't have it in front of me right now. But give us a good, juicy story, Harrington, that we can sink our teeth into.
Well, go ahead.
Well, I was thinking this might be kind of cool. I have a video of a 16-year-old Andy Ruiz sparring with the then UFC heavyweight champion Andre Arlovski. You want to pull that up?
Yeah, that sounds great. Let's take a look.
You think Harrington would have just had it ready?
Yeah, no, it would have been great. I mean, he's got it all ready to go. He's like, here's what we're going to watch. But there is a delay. Okay, Ruiz landing a couple of jabs. Arlovski being careful. He recognizes that this shorter, fatter Mexican probably has heavy hands, so he's taking his time. Nice bit of head movement from Arlovski. They're both taking the time. They're both just pumping out the jab. Arlovski side to side with the movement, circling the cage. Ruiz senses the opportunity and drops him with the right hand, the left and right hand. That's a 10-9 round instantly for Andy Ruiz. Arlovski goes back at him. Look at this, Arlovski taking the fight to him. He gets back on his feet immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fight on our hands. Okay, we get it. All right, so Harrington said that Arlovski got dropped. Not really, Harrington, kind of like almost a clickbaity thing. I mean, yeah, he did kind of get dropped. His hand touched the canvas, which I guess is technically the definition of being dropped. But you know damn well that Arlovski isn't happy about that footage floating around right now.
It's also sort of bullshit because you could take 9 seconds of, anybody in the world. We've seen that a million times, right? Where it's like, like Paul Malignaggi, right? With Conor McGregor. That was a big thing where Conor McGregor put out footage. It was like 11 seconds of them, but Conor got the better of him in that exchange. But Paul Malignaggi, she's like, "Are you fucking crazy? I murdered you in sparring." Yeah. It took like a moment where I slipped up, and so it's sort of like, yeah, I mean, with the power of being able to edit any fucking photo anybody puts on the internet, everybody looks great.
Well, it's very on trend right now as well, because let's remember, Tyson Fury is talking about crossing over to MMA. Mayweather, of course, that was floated about forever. Let's be honest. There's no way on earth Mayweather's ever going to do that. Tyson Fury is the type of person that is crazy enough to actually have a go at that, so you never know. But Daniel Cormier, we'll ask him. He'll be joining us shortly, so we'll ask him what he thinks about all of that. What else is going on? Lewis, what's going on in your life?
Well, even through my life, I mean, I wanted to touch on this because this is sort of a big story, as UFC 249 is sort of the big question right now. So all eyes are on this. There's no other fights that are scheduled. This is the one that Dana White has sort of put all the cards on the table and said, I'm going to make this fucking fight happen. And where there's a will, there's a way. If there's a path to that, and there probably is. You're talking about not adhering to sort of the guidelines set by the government. It's like, these are just guidelines. I don't know if it's a law necessarily. There are places where you can still have, people in a room together. So Khabib apparently packed up his camp and headed back to Russia amid fears that travel might be banned under some sort of declaration. So he's on his way back to Russia. I don't think that bodes well for the fight. I think it's going to get worse on the travel stuff before it gets better.
Well, I think you may be mistaken a little bit there, because I think he's doing the right thing. Okay, as we know, international travel is being shut down. Certainly, the fight, if it is going to take place, isn't going to take place in England. As I just said, they've brought in a curfew now, mandatory curfew, unless it's a medical emergency. You are not to leave the house. You're allowed out to exercise once a day. So it definitely ain't happening in England. And I would say all of mainland Europe, Russia right now. I don't know what the scale is there, but there's not really too much talk of coronavirus in Russia, so you never know. Russia could possibly be a possibility. Vladimir Putin is a big MMA fan. He's a combat sports fan, and they get behind their athletes. So you never know. Russia might be a one. Go on.
Well, Trump is a huge MMA fan too, friends with Dana White. I'm telling you right now, if they want to make this fight happen, they got some big, powerful motherfuckers there.
Oh, no. Think about it. That can't happen. Actually, think about it, because there's already talk of collusion between Trump and Putin. Right? It's the election year. They got the presidential race later on in the year. If Trump just happens to fly himself out to Russia for the Khabib versus Tony fight, Dana takes Tony out on the private jet. They have Trump on board just to get through immigration, which I'm sure Trump doesn't walk through regular customs.
He just smacks an immigration worker around her ass and says, "I'm coming through."
Grab him by the pussy, coming through. And then they just go fucking to the Red Square and have the fight. No, they can't do that. So Russia. Well, no, Trump doesn't have to be involved. So Russia is a potential. Oh my God, that would be huge. Could you imagine Tony versus Khabib in Russia? And I'm telling you right now, that just occurred to me right now. And if that is the case, I'm sorry, Dana White, for bursting the bubble. But That's the perfect place. It's not mainland Europe. I don't think. Just somebody Google coronavirus cases in Russia, because I feel that it's still not reached the levels of emergency that the rest of the world has there.
It hasn't. Last I checked, it was a few hundred cases, considering they have like 14 million people in their population. And then on top of that, their border with China is like crazy long. I don't remember how many miles it is, but it's the 6th longest international border in the world. I'm not saying conspiracy theories, but weird. It's just a little bit weird that Russia, they got no coronavirus cases, and they share a border with China.
Listen, it's a big country. You just said that border is very, very big. It's so big, right? And Russia is a big country as well. I say Khabib versus Tony out of Mongolia, right? We have a bunch of Mongols on horseback going around the octagon, okay? Yeah, with spears, with fucking fake Tony heads on the end of spears and stuff like that, and a bunch of people with those big wigs on that Khabib has. Russia is definitely a possibility. Yeah,
I agree.
That is definitely a possibility.
Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe this, instead of people going like, oh shit, he's packing his bags and going, maybe he's packing his bags and going, he knows something we all don't know, and that it would be easier to fucking put the fight on over there. That's not crazy, Michael Bisping. Let me ask you a question. This is obviously not in breach of circle of trust. You're on the outs with UFC. Everyone knows that. But
I'm not on the outs with the UFC. I'm very much on the in. But just on this little topic, yeah, guess what? Dana isn't running all his fucking matchmaking decisions and locations with me, okay? He doesn't run them by me.
Are you making a bold prediction right now? A bold Bisping prediction. Bisping's bold prediction? Something. You know what, Harrington? Make a graphic for that. Do something, motherfucker.
This week's Bisping's bold predictions.
And then, like, you know, like a boulder, like, rolls by, and then the graphic comes up. Do something, Bisping.
No, I'd say it's more like Wheel of Fortune or something, like a game show host. Bisping's bold predictions this week. Khabib versus Tony takes place in Russia. That's my game show host voice. Yeah, no, actually, that actually does make sense. And the fact Khabib's going there, that could be a hint. It could be a sign of things to come. Also,
I have a question. Just because, Brian, I hopefully you at this point have looked up some information about Russia's coronavirus cases. Are they doing some sort of lockdowns or, you know, social distancing as well? And maybe I'm assuming they have tests available. Whatever it is, whatever Russia did, we should be looking at. But regardless, would they be able to do this with an actual audience, or would this have to be?
Well, hold on. As you were talking there, and Brian, we can't wait for the absolute genius answer that you're going to give. Okay. And I can't wait. It's going to be good. But as you were ramping up to that question, I Googled it. That's how long it took you to ask that question. It took you so long to structure that question that I Googled it myself. Okay. And okay, don't digitize. Stop laughing. Control your laughter, boy. You at the back. Hey,
stop being funny. Stop being funny, Bisping. Stop being charming.
Sorry about that. And anyway, CNN, which as we know is scaremongerer, came up with this headline, and it's a very interesting headline. Inquisitive is the word I would use. Why does Russia, which has a population of 146 million, have fewer coronavirus cases than Luxembourg? And Luxembourg is the smallest country in the world. Russia, one of the biggest with one of the largest populations, has fewer than Luxembourg. Anyway, there you go. That is an interesting question.
You didn't Google shit. Oh.
What is 4,000 ruble equivalent to, though? Is it like 17 cents and a loaf of bread?
No.
Oh.
So what did the conversion?
So no, it's 13 cents times 4,000. 13 times 4, 1, 2, 3 equals $52,000. No, rubles. 52,000 rubles.
Hold on. $50. $50. That ain't bad.
$30. It's 4,000 divided by 13. $307. 4,000. Right, that's how many rubles divided by 13.
Google, and I went to a conversion, and I would put 4,000 rubles in Russian to convert it to US dollars. It's $50. and 33 cents.
I'll be honest, I like your reasoning better than mine. But hold on, but my math stacks up there. 4,000 divided by 13, that should work, correct?
Maybe he had the wrong conversion. Maybe this is more of an up-to-date conversion.
I'm talking math. Okay, math. There is no updating.
Fine, you're
math.
right. Somehow you're always right.
No, I don't want to be right. I'm just saying, like, the latest conversion, the rates and the global economies and this and the pounds week. Math is math, and it doesn't matter how strong Lewis's is, how sold out Skankfest is, or how shitty the economy is right now. Okay, math ain't gonna change. Numbers are numbers, and am I wrong in saying 4,000 divided by 13 would give you the number? 0.013. All right, let's try again. 4,000 divided by 0.13. You're right.
Finally.
$30,000. $30,000. It's a hefty fine. It's a hefty fine.
$50 in Russia is probably a lot. I have no idea how much the Russian people
No, the Russian economy is good, so they're not broke. But I'm just like anywhere. $30 is a lot to people. $30 isn't much to some people. But yeah, there you
$50
go.
sucks to go outside if you're fucking. I mean, are they allowed? Like, that's the thing. Like, when you say England is now shut down, but they're allowed to exercise. I mean, I'm just gonna fucking wear sneakers and sweatpants everywhere, which I do anyway. Who gives a shit? And they'll fucking be like, yeah, I'm going for a jog. I'm like, what are they gonna do? Yeah, I'm exercising. How do they know? I have a friend who lives in Union Square in New York City, and she was going out of her apartment the other night, and they stopped her and they asked her where she was going.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was no implication that she'd get a fine or whatever, but because she was like, she just made up something. But there's like a presence there that it's almost like you have security cameras in a store, not necessarily to catch people stealing and to prosecute people for stealing, but it's to prevent people from stealing. So you have these cop cars around on every corner, and you have military there, and they have machine guns, and then people don't even know, like, am I allowed to fucking walk to the store? In New York, I'm telling you right now, people don't know what is going on. Like, am I like, for me, I know now I'm allowed to go to my studio and do a podcast, but I wasn't sure when this all went down like a couple of days ago. We had to research, and to be honest with you, we're still only 90% positive that I'm allowed to go into the studio and do the podcast. It's a weird thing. It's not very, very clear. And I think that question actually scares people a little bit more.
So, and again, we are going to steer away from the coronavirus talk. So what you're saying is that you do have the ability to go to the studio and do the podcast, but yet you're not in the studio doing the podcast, which would lead me to believe, my powers of deduction tells me that there's been a change of heart from the Gomez, that perhaps this isn't all a ton of bullshit and it is fucking spreading, and you got to do your bit. You got to self-isolate. Lewis, it's okay. I'm saying the words for you. You don't have to say you're wrong, because I'm saying it. You were wrong. It's okay, though. I know you don't.
That's not what I'm saying. I was going to the studio today to do the podcast, and our producer, Bobby Hutch, who was going to come in today, he hit me up and he told me that his fucking wife was crying, and she was like, don't go into work right now. And I was like, I can't make these guys come in. I feel bad. He was like, dude, whatever, let's do the fucking show. And I was like, you know what? We set this up for all of our shows. Like, we're doing this. All the producers are working remotely, so that's why we're doing it. We didn't even really talk about it too much, but this is why we're doing it this way. And to be honest with you, if people aren't comfortable coming into the studio, what's the point of having this beautiful studio in New York City with like this great podcast table and great lighting if people are worried and skeeved out and they don't feel comfortable there? It's sort of giving people, it's not going to give people the best podcast anyway. So yeah, well, it's not me.
Okay,
right.
Last thing on the coronavirus, and I'm not trying to scare him, and then we are going to move on to some MMA topics. Harrington, cue one up. Just be ready for when I finish, when the words from my mouth, when the sound from my mouth stops, that's when I want sound from your mouth to start, okay? No dead air. But I'm telling you right now, this is the tip of the iceberg. It's going to get worse. If you think your friend getting asked where she's going in Union Square a few days ago was bad, then you ain't seen shit yet. This is the start, my friend. This is the start. This is just the start. So there you go. Without further ado, Harrington.
You don't get to say the last word and say I'm wrong, and I got to sit here and take it and be like, oh, I guess I'm a bitch. It's the way it works, okay?
I never said you were a bitch, okay? But if that's the word that first comes to your mind, if that's what you think you sound like, then hey, maybe work on your self. What's the word? Your
self-esteem.
Self-esteem. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Harrington, what you got, bud? Why no Dominic Reyes rematch? Did he give a reasoning? Wow. Okay. Well, first of all, great for Jan Blachowicz, Polish power, one of my Polish brethren there. Yeah, that's great. It really is. I mean, I kind of wanted to see the rematch between Jones and Reyes. I'll say it again. I thought Reyes had that fight. It was close, whatever, but still, we talked about that. And I thought it was really, really exciting. I think that's the toughest fight that Jones has ever had. So I wanted to see that rematch. But if he fights Blachowicz, I mean, winning that fight isn't a foregone conclusion. But if he does, then Reyes is going to be there in the waiting. So, listen, I get it. You always want to face fresh challenges. I guess trying to get the public, to buy the fight twice in a row against the same fighter. It's certainly in these times when money certainly is tighter, that might be a bit of an ask. So yeah, in the meantime, Reyes can go and hopefully beat somebody else. Blachowicz goes out there and gives Jones a solid test, and you never know. I think Blachowicz has the potential to beat him, Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, maybe look, they're just looking for the next guy. Obviously, maybe they don't see the potential money. I think honestly, the Reyes rematch is way more marketable than Jan Blachowicz, who has got 3 in a row. Corey Anderson, split decision against Jacare, and then a win over Rocco before he lost to Thiago Santos by getting knocked out nonetheless. So yeah, I look, I don't see the audience, the general MMA public, the non-hard, even the hardcore fans, I don't see them getting their fucking dicks out for this fight, to be honest with you. I don't give a shit really with what goes on at 205. I want to see Jon Jones at heavyweight at this point. I don't think he has anything left to prove at 205 pounds. I think the rematch obviously there's an argument to be made for it, but not for Jon Jones. Fuck it, right? You got past that. Move on. It reminds me. We talked about this in the past, but it sort of reminds me of GSP. I don't know what it was, whether the division was catching up to him or he was sort of bored with it. But sort of the end of his run at 170. The fights just started getting closer. He was getting beat up a little bit more, and whatever it was, he needed to take a step away. And I think Jon Jones needs to move up to heavyweight to sort of solidify that legacy, to get rid of the questions about his steroid use in the past, any of that bullshit. He does that and fucking dominates at heavyweight, captures that heavyweight title. Jon Jones goes down as the greatest MMA fighter of all time.
Yeah, I totally agree, to be honest. I mean, listen, whilst there is challenges, and as we just saw, Reyes, as I said, I thought he won that fight. But it does get to a point where you just kind of get tired of seeing him beating all these fighters. And while the tests are definitely stern tests, as I said, Reyes, I thought he won, right? There's no more superstars. Remember, in the light heavyweight division used to be called the glamour division, and he was out there and he was beating all these big names: Shogun, Rampage Jackson, Lyoto Machida. I mean, the list goes on, right? We all know Daniel Cormier, of course, who's joining us shortly. He's been through all those people, and now, a lot of the time it's middleweights that have moved up. And again, I'm not saying that they're not a tough test, but like we've just kind of got used to the idea of Jones being the best light heavyweight and Jones beating all the light heavyweight challengers, right? And seeing him beating somebody that doesn't have the star power, it's not going to do it for me. You know what I mean? I do want to see the Reyes match, and I do want to see the Blachowicz match. And I think after them two, you're absolutely right. After those two, and what do I know? It's just my opinion. He should move up to heavyweight, get a true challenge, because I think he can compete at heavyweight for sure, if not become the heavyweight champion. Yeah, of course, guys like Ngannou are going to cause a massive, massive problem for him. But still, I feel that would be testing himself, which, by the way, it's not his responsibility to test himself. And if there's not people at light heavyweight that aren't good enough, which, by the way, I just said there was, but you know what I mean? The star power's not there. That's not his fault. So he's not under any obligation to go to heavyweight. But I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I agree. And then you look at what would happen at 205, which is the same thing that happened at 170, and honestly a bunch of other divisions as well. You sort of open it up, and that top, you create like a Grand Prix type of environment. The top 4 to 8 guys they fucking, balls to the wall. Those divisions explode after that. That's what happened with 170. That division became fucking nuts after GSP sort of cleaned it out and left. So I think it's good for the division. It's good for the sport. It's good for Jon Jones. It's good for heavyweight. It's good for, everybody. Jon Jones moving to heavyweight needs to happen. It's probably the one thing that will save Jon Jones's legacy as well, when you really consider the way that Jon Jones is looked at.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. I just want to ask you something, just a little off topic, and it's kind of coronavirus-y-ish related.
Oh, here we go. We promised the audience, we promised each other.
Hey, let me ask the question. Wait till you hear what it is. Okay, we got DC calling in a minute. He just texted me. He's running 10 minutes late. We could have got to the DC interview right now. Okay, but he just texted me right now. In these moments, in these times of self-quarantining, what are you doing to stay entertained? What are you doing with baby James? Because I do see on social media, you're fucking teaching him the piano. You're doing all kinds of stuff. I got to say, some solid parenting going on over there at the Gomez household, Luis. So please tell us what a great father you are.
Well, look, I think it is douchey. Sometimes people get mad at me and they're like, dude, stop posting fucking pictures of your kid. You're a fucking idiot. We don't like you. I'm going to unfollow you. Fuck you.
Fuck your kid.
Fuck your kid. Yes. And dude, that's fine. If I can fucking, Instagram, I don't do it on Twitter, but Instagram specifically, I have a lot of family members that follow me, but also a lot of people tell me they appreciate the fact that I post stuff like that and inspires them to do stuff like that with their kids. That's the one thing you can do good in the world, is teach your kids to be good people, have them be well-rounded. So I don't know, I sometimes will post stuff and it gets a little preachy, but I think the positive side of that is if some other people are like, yeah, you know what, I'm not going to hit my kid, or I'm going to put my kid in a jiu-jitsu class. There's definitely a tangible positive benefit to it. So that's why I do it. One of the things that I'm fucking proud of, just with people in general, I shouldn't even say Americans, because it's across the board. There's no more it's like the world is so close and connected now, right? With the internet. But we've all shifted and pivoted and adapted, which is the way we're built. And my son, his piano lessons, obviously we had this downtime for a week. Shit, what are we going to do? Today, my son went back to school. He's doing, his classes with an iPad and all the curriculum. Me and his mom are doing homeschooling with him, with the teachers. And he has a regular full day of school. He's doing piano lessons with his teacher online. His jiu-jitsu class sends at-home instructional videos for him to do with his parents and different techniques and drills. And we're doing this. We can't go to the studio, so we have this app, that enables us to do this. And we had to figure out, based off of necessity, how to get it done. And that's sort of the way we've been living. So I want to make sure that my son doesn't skip a beat. I want to make sure that my son feels like he's growing, moving forward, learning, and to be honest with you, use this as a positive for him, where it does suck. There are people out there that are dying. We use this experience as a positive and, take advantage of whatever we can. You have to turn every negative into a positive. So, not to get all preachy and fucking gay, but,
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, just much like the question before when you were talking about Russia, and I Googled the answers before you even asked the question. In the time it took you to make that comment, I've learned how to play the piano. I've learned the violin, the piano, and I'm working on the drums as we speak.
I can't stand you.
No, I'll be honest. It is awesome to see, and I'm trying to take a page out of that book myself. I actually said to Rebecca this morning, I said, we should get a keyboard and try and get Lucas to learn something like that, because that's what you got to do. It expands the mind. But we are implementing arts and crafts hour in our house. So we're going to go down to Home Depot, which I know we're not supposed to do, but we're going to fucking do it. And I said, let's build a dog kennel for Harry or something like that, because, and for Callum as well, because, they're not very good with the hands.
You're going to put Callum in a dog kennel?
That's it. He's fucking out. He's living in a dog kennel. He's going out. His girlfriend's Asian. They're eating dogs. He's in the dog kennel.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, I'm joking. No. We're going to start, 1 hour a day. We're going to go outside and we're going to fucking get the saws and the tools and the hammers and the nails like real men. And we're going to build some shit. And Lucas is very, very excited for it. However, the projects that he's coming up with, he's Googling things to make, and they are way, way past our abilities. I'm like, no. A dog kennel is easy. It's 4 walls with a little triangle roof, and we paint it. It's easy. He's looking at all these intricate fucking birdhouses and stuff, you know, that have doors and hinges and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, no, Lucas, we can't do that. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. We're gonna keep them busy. They do the schoolwork in the morning. I think they're hopefully doing it now, and then they have a little break. We're gonna do some jiu-jitsu later. We got the mats. You know, we're gonna put the mats out later. We're gonna do a family jiu-jitsu lesson.
Just the whatever it was, dude. I fucking got him jiu-jitsu mats for Christmas, and I'm so happy I did, because he wouldn't be able to do that at home.
Yeah,
and they're like, all the deliveries are taking a long time now. So it's just, I happened to get those this past Christmas, and now he's able to do that, which is awesome. So yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, look, the reality is, like, you know, it puts
well, I was trying to get Rebecca and Ellie to jiu-jitsu for a while, because jiu-jitsu, as we always say, for a woman, is very, very important to learn, and they kind of want to do it now. So Callum's home, so I've got a training partner, even though my knees are messed up. I was supposed to have surgery last week. It got delayed.
Doesn't matter. You'll destroy Ellie.
No, no, I was supposed to have surgery last week, but because I went to Brazil, I 2 weeks have got to pass before I even go into the doctor's place. And I went down to see him. He said, no, you can't even step foot in the building. So my surgery is delayed. But I've got Callum as a training partner. Lucas, his best friend next door, Lucas, he does jiu-jitsu. They're the same age. So he's got a training partner. And then there's Megan, Ellie, and Rebecca. They're going to like work as a triangle, a trifecta. So yeah. So we've got
I'll do a little jiu-jitsu with Megan. If you
nice.
Does she need a partner?
Jump in the car, drive down. By Wednesday, you'll be here. So yeah, so jiu-jitsu class is in class, or in session, as they say. So yeah. Oh, hold on a minute. Here we go. DC. DC's ready. Are we ready to take a little interview with D Sizzle?
Let's do it. Let's get DC on the line right now. Ladies and gentlemen, former UFC heavyweight champion, former UFC 205-pound champion, ladies and gentlemen, double champ, it's Daniel Cormier.
Oh, D goddamn C. What's up, baby boy?
My boy. What's up, Bisping?
How are you, buddy? You well?
Mikey, I'm just recovering from you and your fear mongering.
What are you talking about? You
are the worst source of information during this COVID-19 scare. Because all you do is scare people. I was doing my show this morning, and I mentioned Mikey sending me a letter. Hawani had the same letter. We were both surprised because we thought Bisping, oh my goodness, we're great friends with Bisping. It says send to your family and friends. Come to find out Bisping had sent it to everybody, man. Scared the entire world.
DC, don't think you're that special, okay? It was a mass text to a lot of people, okay?
No, but it was all individual. It was all, you took the time to send them all out individually, so it made you feel special.
Because I'm not, listen, but this is what people don't realize. I'm a good guy. I'm a giving person, DC. You know what I mean? I'm thinking of you. I don't want you to get tied up in this time of need. I don't want your kids to go hungry. I mean, we know you need to go on a diet. So maybe, no food for 2 weeks will be good. But I'm just that type of person.
I'm going in the complete opposite direction during this quarantine. It's not good, bro. It's not good. I can't even look at myself right now.
So Lewis, I sent Lewis the same, you're on with Louis J. Gomez, by the way. I sent Louis the same letter, and Louis sent me back, go fuck yourself, you're full of shit. We're not interested.
Well, it wasn't even that. I Googled 7 keywords in the one you messaged me, and then what came back was, don't believe this hoax. And then Bisping's like, no, I have a friend in the know. They know somebody in the military.
That's why it had weight, because he goes, I got this from a very credible source. So I'm like, Facebook, Mike? Facebook.
Listen, I got it from somebody, right, who is a very, very good person that's never let me down before. And he said, my brother works for the Department of Homeland Security, okay? And I'm like, when you hear that stuff, I'm like, okay. I send that to a lot of famous people, a lot of big-time Hollywood actors. I look like a fucking moron right now. I thought, I'll get in their good graces. I'll send them a little fucking heads up. They think I'm a fucking idiot right now. What's going on, DC? Are you quarantining right now?
Yeah, man. I'm just at home hanging out, just bored. I mean, dealing with my dogs. I built them a little bit of a running kennel right now because we planted some new grass. And so they got to be contained for a little bit, and they don't like it, man. They're barking. They're going crazy. It's all.
What kind of dogs?
I have a Yorkie Shih Tzu, a small one, and I have a Lab. So
there's a little bit of a I would have expected something more manly, DC. You're a two-time champion. You were the heavyweight champion of the world. Come on, bro.
The Lab's a nice big dog. She's good. She's strong. But the Yorkie Shih Tzu is our first dog because we lived in a condo. So we couldn't get a big dog, but we wanted the dog. That's what we got. We got Jade.
Are you worried about the dogs getting coronavirus? Because they say it's contagious with the dogs, right?
Really? I've never seen. Here we go again.
First dog, this is fear. The first dog
died.
See, Mike, I thought you were the worst. Come to find out, Lewis is the absolute worst. My dog's got the coronavirus.
We've got zombie fucking coronavirus dogs walking the neighborhood, okay? This is where this shit's going. You think this is bad now? Wait until a month from now has passed. We're all starving. Everyone's got the coronavirus. Dogs, birds, all kinds of insects will infect you with the coronavirus. That's where we're heading.
Dude, it's like this is the scariest shit I've dealt with in a long time. I'm being honest. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're not scared, Mike. You're much braver than I am.
No, well, I'm certainly a little appalled at my bank balance right now. When I look at my bank balance and I look at the money I've got coming in and look at some investments that I am supposed to be doing right now, I'm like, shit, it's hard. It's tough times. Obviously, DC, me and you, we're not working for the UFC right now. What are you hearing about that? You heard when the next fight's going to be?
Do we got DC there still?
Something happened with his audio. We're not hearing him.
Yeah, we lost him. DC, we don't hear you, buddy.
Dude, you want to disconnect and have him reconnect? It's no big deal. We could just do an edit.
Yeah, no, that's weird. It was working perfectly.
Yeah, this is the first issue I've had with this program.
Did maybe his earbuds die?
It was me. No, it was me. It was me. But now, Bisping, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yes.
But
yeah.
Your video disappeared.
It's the coronavirus. It's affecting the headphones. It's affecting the video transmission. The coronavirus is getting into the electricity mainframe. Now we're all fucked.
I'm back right now. You know what it was? It was my AirPods. It's my AirPods. Listen. I think I'm losing hearing in my left side, and because I'm my right side. Sorry, and because I'm losing hearing in my right side, the dang AirPods don't pick up no more. I'm serious, man. It's just messed up. It's really bad, Mikey. I'm telling you, I can't hear from this side. And now my AirPod's not working.
Well, hold on. So you've got one ear. I've got one eye. I've got one leg. I mean, between 4 or 5 of us, we might make a complete fighter.
I mean, it's bad. It's real bad.
No, shit. So, I'm telling you. Yeah, you were just saying UFC. What are you hearing, DC?
Mike, I'm telling you, like, I hear that the fight's still happening. I haven't heard that it's not, right? Like, so we operate under the assumption that it's still going to happen on April 18th. I don't know how. I don't know where. But until Dana comes out and says it's off, I'm going to believe that I get to watch Khabib fight Tony on April 18th from wherever in the world that they're going to allow a fight to happen.
From your perspective, I mean, because you're a fighter, you're still active, you're still, you still have a fight on the horizon. Have you been able to sort of make any plans for anything, whether it's fight-related or not? Mm-hmm. Have you been able to mentally get past this? Because there's no end in sight. We don't know how long this whole pause is going to be. Have you been able to sort of get past that and make plans for the future? Or so where does your head lie with that?
I mean, there's nothing right now, right? You're just kind of, you're essentially in a holding pattern, right? UFC's on pause. Not even the UFC, the whole world is on pause right now, right? All sports, everything's like in the tank. So it's just a wait and see. Like you don't know, but you know what you can look forward to as an athlete is knowing when the UFC returns, you're going to be a part of some massive fight cards because all these fights have to happen. And as long as the UFC is on pause, the UFC is not making any money. So when the UFC comes back, they have to make all that money that's supposed to be made over the course of the year. So they're going to put on massive fight cards every single week until the end of the year. And I cannot wait to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because, I'm hearing they're just postponed. They might not be happening right now, but they are going to come to those fights. We'll get to you.
Mike, super fight after super fight after super fight, super fight card after super fight card, super card. It's going to be like the UFC back in the day when there was like one every couple months, and you just got all these massive fights at the same time.
Oh, no, the cards are going to be amazing. I was just going to say, we'll get to you and Stipe in a minute because I want to know the latest on that. But so Khabib versus Tony, still on. I'm hearing Khabib because he was coming into AKA. He was the only one coming in there and training, but he's just left for Russia, right?
I'm hearing that. Like Ariel just told me that this morning, that he went back home, and I haven't called Javier and those guys, but I started hearing it too. Like Khabib left and he went home to be with his family. But I think you should, right? Tai Tuivasa left. He went back to Australia. All the guys that are international guys that have been here training, I think they went back home. I mean, everything is so up in the air. Mike, could you imagine not being around your wife, your children in this time? I mean,
yes.
I'm sure your son that lives up in San Francisco is back home now, right? To be with family because you want to protect them. Mike, you're solely responsible for taking care of that beautiful family of yours. So,
well, I was going to make a bad joke, and I'm going to say, yes, I can imagine. But no, you're absolutely right. And certainly when you live in other countries, especially what's happening with the air travel and things like that, listen, everyone's got to get home. So
did you see,
Steve,
wait, Mike,
go on.
Did you see the guy, right? The black guy? They go,
yes. I saw it. It said, "Hey, you stay at home with your corona, with your family, your girlfriend, your wife, and or B." And he goes, B. Straight away.
You know how horrible B could be? It could be like the worst thing in the world, but he's like, if I'm away from my wife and kids, I'm good. That's crazy.
All right, listen, DC, how old are you now? You're 41, right? Or 40?
41. Yeah, just turned 41. Yeah, it's getting up there.
Me too, man. Me too. It's crazy. So anyway, you versus Stipe. Is that happening? When's it going to happen? Where is it happening? What's going on with all of that?
I mean, right now, you have no idea when and where, because we don't know when we're going to get started again. But I was hoping that it would happen in the summer. I mean, it felt like we were getting to a point where we were starting to have discussions about the fight, and it's just right now, it just seems, it's like with everything else. What I do believe is, like I said, if we do get started sometime around July, June, sometime, because I can imagine this thing. So in China, right, they started dealing with this back in November. Right now, they seem to just be getting it under control. So it took them 5 months. If it took them 5 months and they can help us, say we got 3 months, that puts us at April, May, June, puts us at June, right? March, April, May, June, right? So it puts us in June. So then you start getting back started around June, July. I mean, I just figure our timeline shouldn't be that affected, but I know that the card that we're going to fight on now is going to be bigger than it would have probably been before.
Would you train with other people now, outside people right now?
No. I've got a wife and kids, that we have to protect. So I think everything that we have to do as fathers and husbands is individual training. I mean, I would take one guy and train with him, but just to train in a group, to be in a practice facility, to be in a setting like that would be very difficult. Just because you don't know, again, you just don't know what happens if you do come in contact with this. And then, Governor Newsom is saying that 50% of us are going to have it. So if that's the case, I've got 4 people in my house. That means 2 of us are going to get the coronavirus. So I don't even know if there's avoiding it right now, if what he's saying is going to come true.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you, I mean, I was trying to get away from the coronavirus, but let's be honest. I mean, that's all that's going on in the fucking world. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. I mean, what do you think of it all? I mean, what do you make of it all? Do you think we should all be self-isolated? Because I do, but there is some people out there like that might be on this podcast right now that think it's all a lot of bullshit and blown out of proportion. What would you say to these idiots, these fucking idiots that think it's blown out of proportion?
Yeah, I did not say we should not self-isolate. I said that we should self-isolate, but I do think that there's other things going on here, and you are fucking ridiculous if you don't think that there's other shit going on behind the scenes.
He thinks the government are trying to control us.
I think it's a real good.
I think, Mike, it's a bit. I think there are some political things to this more than we want to admit. But I do believe that this virus is real, and I believe that the sooner that we can stop it from spreading, the better. And if that means staying at home for a little bit, it's not that big a deal, right?
Yeah.
You know?
It's not.
Stay in your house. Like,
you know, to be honest, my wife, listen, I love my wife dearly. She's the fucking best, right? But I will say this. She likes to sit on her ass and she's like, oh my God, this is like the best period ever. She hasn't got to take the kids to school. We haven't got to leave the house. Cause I'm always like, I want to go out and do things with the kids. I want to, you know, be an active father. But she's like, oh God, can't we just stay in? Now we are forced to stay in and do nothing but Coke, drink wine, and stare at our phones and lie in bed. She's like, I love the coronavirus. How is your wife taking it?
So my wife is 5 years younger than me. So we kind of got a little bit of a, you know, our age is a little different. So she's from a little bit of a different generation, right? The generation that, how old are you, Mike?
I'm 41.
Okay. How old is your wife?
39.
Yeah. So my wife is like 36. So she's like, the people that want to be out and active, let's just go sit on the beach and let's go walk and let's go do this. And so she wants to do things. So for me, I'm from that group of people that when I was a kid, I'd play outside for a little bit, then I would just stay in the house, watch TV, and just kind of kick back. I think like people have just learned my lifestyle. My lifestyle is quarantine. My preferred lifestyle is quarantine.
That's what my wife says. That's what my wife says all the time. She says, this is what I want. I love quarantine. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Thanks, buddy. So what are we saying? Is this the last fight, Dan? You calling it a day after this one?
Mike, for sure. Like 100%. I just want to get this trilogy done. Let's see who's the best man at the end of 3, right? Like, you know, I mean, it felt good to, like you and Dan Henderson, right? Like, you guys were 1-1, but man, if you could one-up him and be 2-1 in the series, how good would have it felt? You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't done, if you weren't done, it would have felt good to just get an ending, right? Because 1-1 feels much better than 0-1. But man, to have won the series would be good. And I feel like him and I, and Mike, here's the deal, right? And I tell this to people when they ask me, they go, well, you're 41. I go, hey, I'm not fighting some young guy. Stipe's 38. You know, it's like Stipe's 38. I'm not fighting a 27-year-old guy. You know? So, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And what about when you hear guys like Tyson Fury saying they want to make a jump over to MMA or inviting the top UFC heavyweights over to boxing? How do you think you would fare against him? A two-part question. In boxing, number 1, and then number 2 in the
Come on, Lewis. We don't even need an answer to that, but go ahead, Dan.
I think well, listen, Lewis, here's the deal. I can't beat Tyson Fury in boxing, but I sure will whip Michael Bisping's ass in a boxing match. Bisping's ass. I told you, Bisping, at the year review, I beat your ass in a boxing match.
DC, hey, this is what we got to do, because this is, Lewis, I'm telling you, this isn't for the podcast. This is our relationship.
This has been going on for a while. Because Bisping, for some reason, thinks he can kick my ass in a boxing match and an MMA fight. I'll beat him in a boxing match. In an MMA fight, it's a complete wash. But I told Bisping, you guys couldn't have the
Listen, here's the thing. Ever since I met DC, this is what he does. He's a fucking bully, right? And he bullies everybody around him. He bullies everybody.
That's not true.
No. Hold on. You had the floor. You had the floor. Now it's my turn. It's my show, okay? Right? DC bullies everybody, but I refuse to accept that. I recognize, DC, that, yeah, you got some weight on me. You're a bigger guy. You're a wrestling fucking big dog, okay? You're a 2-time champion, but I don't give a fuck. I refuse to let you speak to me like that, okay? And I'll tell you, if you want to throw down, baby boy, let's fucking go. Head guards, because I've only got one eye, but I will still take you on. I will fucking, I'm going to protect that good eye. But dude, for charity, I am down. Well, I will box your fucking face off, big boy.
Devil's advocate, I'll pick the charity. It's going to be for the Trump 2020 campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Bisping? Bisping, you don't like that?
No, I don't.
Just to fuck with Bisping.
Hey, listen, all the money from Bisping's ass whooping goes to the Trump campaign. Okay. Hey, Bisping, I swear you'll be on your back in 10 seconds. I told you that already.
Hey, bro, don't think you're fucking comfortable up there in that house. I'll jump in the car right now. I'll fucking come see you, buddy. I'll come see you.
Hey, I can say whatever I want from 500 miles away. But I can't fight Tyson Fury in a boxing match, and neither can Stipe. And Stipe asking to fight Tyson Fury is the most absurd thing in the world. He was losing a boxing match to me. I'm 5'10", and then Tyson Fury's gonna knock him out. But Tyson Fury can't beat neither one of us in an MMA fight. It's just It's that simple. You know who I was arguing with about? I went down to Houston to train with George Foreman. And George Foreman has lost his mind, Bisping. He was telling me that, dude, hey, Foreman's out of his mind. I told Foreman, Foreman, you're out of your mind. He's telling me about boxers beating MMA guys. I was like, what? I was like, okay, yeah. George. I said, I'm a big-time fan. And at first I was starstruck, but now I realize you've lost.
Yeah. You're like, listen, I'm a big-time fan. Just give me one of your fucking grills and I'm out of here. See you, buddy.
He's the best.
Yeah, no, of course, all those boxing legends you got to give respect to. But it is funny when you speak to some people, to boxers, they just don't have an idea. They can't grasp mixed martial arts and how they are completely different sports. And, no, boxing is a sport. MMA is a fight. You know what I mean? And in MMA,
is different, man.
A boxer ain't going to stand the fucking chance. We know this.
I was fighting. I've sparred with actual pro boxers, and they tear me apart, right? Until I start wrestling with them. The moment you're just boxing with those guys, the jab doesn't feel like a jab, right? They've been throwing it so long. In 2 jabs, your nose is all busted up and bleeding, right? They just know how to punch. You don't want to get hit by those guys. But every time I've sparred them, I usually will wrestle pretty quick.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, Dan, we don't want to take up too much time of your day. We thank you. Dan, you're the man. I fucking love working with you, even though you bust my balls all the time. What are you doing for the rest of the day, and what does the rest of your week look like?
Quarantine. Exactly. You know what it looks like, baby.
No, but what are you doing at home? Because I've been told Muscle and Fitness magazine want me to film it myself. They want me to do a home workout and this and get the family. And I'm like, I don't think I can do that. A, because it's super cheesy. But B, I'm not a production man. You know what I mean? And C, go fuck yourself. But D, for Daniel, what are you doing? I'm about to get fired off a sponsor for saying that, by the way. But whatever.
I'm going to play video games. I'm going to probably watch something with my wife, and then probably go play basketball with my kids in the front yard. That's it. That's all we do. We play basketball. My kids ride their scooters. We walk up the hill, down the hill. Then we're stuck back in the house, listening to some music. It's just kind of laid back, exactly how I like to spend my days.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, buddy, listen, thanks, Dan. We appreciate you taking the time. Can't wait for Stipe, and no doubt see you on the road sometime soon.
For sure, Mikey. Let's get back to that commentary table. That was fun in North Carolina, huh?
Tell me about it. We were supposed to be doing it this weekend in Columbus. It's going to be me, you, and John. And yeah, I'm stuck here. I like the quarantine life, but there's only so much wife and kids you can take before you want to. I speak for every man in the world. You need that time away. It's what keeps the reputation good.
All right, exactly.
All right, God bless. Take care, buddy.
Later, Mikey. Thank you. Bye, guys.
See you later,
See you, bud.
The great DC.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. Dan's great. He's a great guy. He does bust my balls all the time. He always talks about this boxing match or this wrestling. He's always grabbing hold of me. I'm like, well, come on. I ain't no bitch. I'm not just going to take this. I do recognize that I am outweighed and I am definitely outskilled in the wrestling department and the power department, but get fucked. You're not going to walk all over me. But Daniel Cormier, one of the best guys in the business, not talking about as a fighter. That goes without saying. But as a person, just a great dude. Lights up the room anytime he walks in. But speaking of lighting up a room, Lewis, what are you doing right now?
What are you talking about?
Oh, God. You're going to get us kicked off YouTube.
What are you talking about? It's a cigarette.
Oh.
It's a cigarette.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was CBD.
I took up smoking cigarettes with CBD laced into them, obviously.
Hey, quarantine life. Now we're smoking cigarettes.
Quarantine life, baby boy. Real quick, let's talk about one of our incredible sponsors, which is Vessi, which is such an incredible company. We love Vessi. Beautiful shoes, everything from casual to sporty shoes. I have my Vessis right here. Look at these. Look at these amazing sneakers. Size 13.
Whoa. Lewis, listen. We're here to talk about the shoes, not the size of your hands, okay? But I see your grays, but I raise you black and white. Now, I know what you're thinking when you hear us talking about Vessis. You're thinking, they're completely 100% waterproof. They are, the fabric that they're made out of, they keep the heat in, they keep the cold out, they keep your feet dry, 100% waterproof. You're thinking they can't be a good design, but look at them. They're as stylish as any shoe on the market. They really are. They're very, very cool. Lewis went for the all gray. I went for the standard black and white. But, you know, listen, whatever floats your boat. As I said, they are 100% waterproof knit sneaker. Wear through any weather and keep your toes dry. Rain, snow, mud, slush, and they are breathable. Patented material lets the sweat and heat escape, keeping your toes nice and fresh. The Dymatex material is the first dual climate knit material. It regulates the temperature, so when you wear them in the winter, it keeps you warm, but in the summer, it lets the sweat and the heat escape.
Yeah, I mean, that's the coolest part of all is because I'm wearing boots in the wintertime. I'm wearing these thin sneakers in the summertime. I'm not one of these stylish guys who has a different pair of shoes for every occasion, okay? I like the fact that I have my vesties. I can wear them to the gym if I want. If I want to wear them casually to go out to get some drinks, everything, for every occasion, Vesty has something for. Also, here's the thing. Harrington should love this because I know we just ordered Harrington a pair because he takes off his shoes when he's in the studio sometimes, and the smell is just from another world. They actually have antimicrobial insoles, so they keep your feet fresh. They don't stink. So this is not even for Harrington. This is for the rest of the Gas Digital production team.
And of course, if you are this way inclined, if you are vegan, which we know a lot of people are, vegetarian or vegan these days, zero animal products were used in making these sneakers. So vegans, vegetarians, we've got your back. Grips for all weather. The herringbone tread pattern is a grip designed to provide traction, whether you're hiking in the city or you are caught in a storm. So do please check these out. Go to VessiFootwear.com. That's VESSI footwear.com/believe. And then use the code BELIEVE at the checkout. That will knock $25 off whichever shoes you choose. As we said before, there is a massive variety, so go on there, check them out, see which style you want, but go to VessiFootwear.com/believe, and as I said, the code is BELIEVE at the checkout. That'll get you $25 off. All right, okay, let's get back into it.
All right, Mike, also we should say really quick, because we love you guys, everyone right now, all the fucking amazing comments we get, the personal messages, you guys are the best fan base in the world. I don't have a more positive fan base for anything that I'm involved with. So thank you very much for all that. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, everywhere you can find podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play. Make sure you go leave us a positive review. Leave us a 5-star ranking if you can. That helps other people find the show, which is the most important thing. Share the show with your friends. If you have a friend right now that maybe is hanging out at home, they're bored, everyone's bored, send them your favorite episode of the show. Maybe they're going to like this. And we really appreciate that. That's the best thing you can do for the show. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. And then also, if you want, every episode we've ever done is available on demand at your fingertips, uncensored, ad-free, with pre-release at gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code BYM. You support the show, and you get a 14-day free trial, plus you save $1.50 a month if you keep the premium service. All right, so Bisping, we have Gilbert Burns calling in here in just a second, which I'm excited about. I don't know too much about Gilbert Burns, but you've been talking about him for quite a while.
Yeah, no, Gilbert Burns been around for a long, long time. He's massive, man. He's a big dude. Not the tallest, but he's super built. He used to fight at lightweight. I think he had 10 fights in the UFC at lightweight. Went up to welterweight. 3-time world jiu-jitsu champion. Excellent striking. Beat Alexei Kunchenko in a striking battle, essentially. So he's got a very, very...
Performance of the night, just a couple of weeks ago, performance of the night, knockout of Damian Maia. Really a coming out party of sorts. So do we have him on the line now, guys?
What's up, Gilbert? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, bro. How you guys doing?
Oh, man, not too bad. I mean, of course, these crazy times with the coronavirus has got everybody's schedules mixed up. Lives are changing. But we're good. We've got a smile on our face. Thanks for taking the time to join us, Gilbert. Really appreciate it. How are you doing? That is the question.
I'm good. Just spent a lot of time with the kids. We play video games. They're right here. This was Josh. Don't hire Josh.
Hi, guys.
So, just enjoy time with the family, stay busy, stay a little active. I'm doing a little physical therapy on my knee. Just popped them a little bit on the fight. Nothing bad. Just got to do like 2 weeks physical therapies and stay with the family. That's it.
Sounds like a good time, Gilbert. Sounds like what you should be doing at home. We were just talking to Daniel Cormier a second ago, and he's like, listen, quarantine is my life. So this isn't an issue. He said, I love to be at home with the family and the kids. And I'm kind of the same way. I don't want people to get sick. I don't want the economies to go into meltdown. But I do kind of like being forced to stay at home and put my feet up a little bit. Where do you stand on all of this?
I love to stay at home too. I'm with you. I want to stay at home or stay with the family, and we need to take precautions too. Those things too crazy. I don't want to. It's not even me. I don't mind if I need to go out a little bit, if I need to go get grocery or like I'm doing my physical therapies. But I'm more concerned with my family. I don't want to get something on the street and bring it to my family. But we need to take a precaution. But yeah, I'm like you. I love to stay at home.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a bunch of negatives that are going on with this, but I mean, maybe actually that's the angle to talk about this with. It's like, what's your favorite thing so far about being home with your family that maybe you haven't been able to experience until now?
I'm staying a lot with the family. We're doing a lot of little games, a lot of things. I'm sending a couple of videos to UFC Brazil too to keep people like interested on the social media. But yeah, overall we have a lot of fun. Like we making up some games and we watch a lot of movies over there. I'm out of TV. I don't want to see movies anymore. But we're just playing a lot of games with the kids all day, every day, and making a little routine. They still gotta do the homework. But yeah, playing a lot more with the kids.
Yeah, well, it's nice. It's a good quality time with the children. Obviously, I was just down in Brazil. I saw you there. You had an amazing win over Damian Maia. We'll get to that in a second. But what is the situation down in Brazil? I'm assuming you still got a lot of friends and family down in Brazil. How is, what is the situation down there now?
Yeah, the situation is getting crazy in Brazil. They don't have like the infrastructure we have here in the U.S. I was working to get my parents the visa they move here. But unfortunately, they closed down all the consulate, everything. It's locked down in Brazil. But yeah, they got a lot of cases in my city. I'm from Niterói, Rio de Janeiro. They got a lot of cases of coronavirus there. They have a lot of old people in my town. So yeah, it's a little. I just talked to my mom and my dad. Make sure they stay at home. They have a lot of. They got a plan of food already. They got everything. They stay at home, quarantine. But yeah, Brazil don't have the infrastructure we have here, the hospitals we have here. And I just heard the hospitals here, they have a lot of, they missing a lot of things already, the masks, and they don't have a lot of machines to you breathe. If here is being like that, I guess in Brazil will be worse. So I'm praying to things that get okay pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really unfortunate situation, and everyone's having to make adjustments. I noticed a lot of people, they're trying to move forward with their lives whatever way they can. You said you're doing physical therapy. Have you been considering sort of the future at all and sort of how to make plans to start training, just because everyone seems to have put their lives on pause right now?
Yeah, so I don't know how, like you said, I don't know how it's going to be in the future, but luckily I did a gym in my garage. I just see Bisping has on his garage too. A lot of guys have just made mine, and it was done like 10 days before I leave to Brazil to the fight was done. I got all the mats. I got 3 bags. I got a couple weights. So I'll be able to keep my training, especially I just got a fight. I took last week off. This week I'm coming back with a little physical therapy, a little strength training. I'll be able to train with a couple partners coming here and there helping, but I will try to keep my routine as most as I can. But we don't know how long that thing's gonna take it. So luckily I got my gym here that I can do my workout a little bit. But like group training, I think it's gonna take a while till we got back to the gym.
No, it's definitely going to take a while. All right, listen, Gilbert, that's the small talk. That's the nice family, the introduction, how you doing, coronavirus, bullshit out the way. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago, we're down in Brazil. You're taking on Damian Maia, a legend in the sport. And I'm sure from your perspective, coming from a jiu-jitsu background, you had a lot of respect for him as well. But you looked incredible, man. That was one of the best performances, and just a clean knockout that Henry Hoof said. He told me in the octagon right before you did your interview, he said, we were just working that in the locker room. Talk us through the fight from your perspective and, how you feel about that victory.
So I felt great. With no crowd, the only thing, you get extra nervous. I get super, super nervous. The arena was super quiet. The walk into my locker room to the arena was a long walk. I got a little I got a little extra nervous. But as soon as we get on the octagon, I still nervous. Like, I didn't feel the energy from the crowd. But then as soon as he touched me, I think I started with the kick, or he started. Okay, then I got to the fight. I got relaxed and started fighting. And then he did very good setting up a takedown. I had to watch the clip a couple times and see that he touched me, and he does a thing that I do. And I'm like, man, he got it that too. So he did a little action, waiting for me to react. As soon as I start to react to my right hand, he got a perfect timing, double leg. And he took me down, but a lot of people didn't see it. Got to pause a couple times on the video and see. As soon as he was taking me down, already hooked the leg, get bottom position, being offensive on his legs. Don't let him Damien get offensively on top. And then he started playing defense on top, like defending his legs. I was able to go back up. He put me against the clinch, and then he did what he does good. He pressed me down. He went to my back. And two things I got super surprised on that moment, because as soon as we started, I felt him very slow on the strike. And I said, okay, that guy's a little slow on striking. But as soon as I realized that, I said, yeah, but he might be super strong on the holding. As soon as he hold me, I didn't feel that strong at all. I feel very long and good grips, like good timing, good technique, but not strong at all. And as soon as he jumped on my back, then I was relaxed. I said, okay, he's not even that heavy. He might be 186, 187 right now. So I was able to don't let him pull the hooks. That's if a lot of guys don't see that, but Damian Maia, as soon as he got the back, he works to get the hooks. As soon as he put the hooks, then he goes to the body triangle, and then he works on the hooks. So he got that system. Then I get all breakdown before the fight. I say, if he does go to my back, I cannot allow him to put the hooks. Otherwise, he's going to put the body triangle. Then it's going to be a fight. So I didn't let him put the hooks. As soon as I was escaping, he tried to keep going and transition to mount. Then I was already aware of the transition. Then I get under half guard. I was out, and I saw on his eyes he get frustrated that he lost the best position that he usually don't lost. And I look at him and say, okay, now he's getting frustrated. Okay, let's get a little more relaxed. And then as soon as he was starting offensive, I was kind of backing out a little bit, making him feel that he put in pressure. But as soon as he got back up, I say, okay, now I'm not backing out. Anything that he throws, I'm going to throw over. Anything that he throws, I'm going to throw over. I stay in a good balance. As soon as he throw the jab, I say, okay, I'm going to throw the left hook. But I was so in the moment that I saw that jab coming super slow motion. I give a little step back, and then pop. I put the left hook, and then I put him down. I didn't know who put him down, but I put him down. I thought it was over, but I got to keep going.
No, that was nice of you, because you didn't want to jump on him. I know that you have a lot of respect for Damien. I just want to say something. You said before he didn't feel that strong, and I'm not surprised, Gilbert. The first time I met you face to face, I couldn't believe the size of you. I thought, holy shit, how the hell did this guy make lightweight for so long? You built like a fucking tank, buddy. So I'm not surprised he didn't feel strong. Now, of course, you got the knockout, and it was clean, it was beautiful, and that's great. But I know going into that, you wanted to test yourself on the ground with him. Obviously, you're a 3-time jiu-jitsu world champion. Damien's got the reputation as the best grappler we've had in the UFC. So you wanted to test your jiu-jitsu with him, right?
Yeah, I did. We did a little bit. And to be very honest with you, Henry said that he's going down with the left hook if I connected. I did connect, but I didn't believe he was going down like that. But I think it was in the right place. But we did a little jiu-jitsu. He got on his back position. If I'm not wrong, I was the only one to escape from his back and to get back up from a takedown. So we did not much, but we did a little bit. But I think I earned a lot of respect from that little bit that I did. I was able to escape it.
Well, both Colby and Usman went through Maia on the way to title shots. How do you feel you sort of fit in there? Do you feel like you're ready for a title shot?
To be honest, I'll be happy with the title shot right now. But being very honest, I don't think I think he's still gotta do one more fight to earn the title shot. And that fight was almost made it because that craziness with the coronavirus, the UFC London was canceled, and they tried to move to US and make another event. So I already put myself available. As soon as I saw the Twitter that was canceled, they tried to do it in the U.S. I say, hey, if for any reason Tyron Woodley or Leon Edwards cannot make to the fight, I'm available. I'm right here.
And that was on 6 days' notice, right?
Yeah, 6-day notice, and I'll be the records to be the guy fighting 2 UFCs like back to back in 1 weekend. And yeah, but to be honest, right now, Tyron Woodley didn't take the fight. He said, "Oh, I took the fight," and blah 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 blah. He's a liar. His team's a liar.
Now we're getting to the good stuff. Now we're getting to the good stuff. This is what I wanted to ask you about. So, of course, as you just said, you know, there was a potential of you fighting Tyron Woodley. Talk us through what actually went down there, Gilbert.
So I just tweeted out. I saw they canceling the UFC London. I just tweeted out, "Hey, I'm available." He started texting Sean Shelby, Dana, "Hey, I'm available, and I really want to fight." If some of these guys, Tyron Woodley or Leon Edwards, cannot make it, I'm right here. Just put my availability, and I'm not kidding. I even say I'm not kidding. That's serious. I want to fight. And Sean Shelby, yeah, we're working on that. Hang on, we might get that fight. And I was like, wow, the fight's on. Let's go. And my flight back to U.S. from Brasilia was on Monday. And I talked to Sean, talked to my manager, Ali Abdelaziz. They called the UFC. The UFC got me another flight. I left Brazil Monday night. I got here in the U.S. I left Sunday night. I got here Monday morning, and I was already talking to Coach Henry. Hey, we need to get another session tonight because I'm getting a fight with Tyron Woodley. He said, yes, hey, almost sure. I'm just waiting for the contract. And then we talked about contract. Will be a nice money. I was super happy with the opportunity. And then the negotiations started getting a little rough because freaking Colby Covington tweeted out, doing his thing. He wasn't even available to fight. He got injury on his hand. He wasn't training. So he was just, be on the media a little bit. No one's talking about him. He just want to jump on the media. And he did good because everybody got crazy talking about it. And my friend, your friend, RDA, he got on and he sent a message, hey, if you guys need me, I'm right here. So Dana wants me to take the fight and Sean Shelby as well, and they like it. And but Tyron Woodley, oh, I want to get Colby. Oh, no, I got to get RDA. I don't want to get Gilbert. He just fought. He don't have that name and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, and then Tyron Woodley just tweeted out, oh, I was ready to fight Gilbert Burns. No, liar, you were not. You said you don't want to fight me. You and your team was, oh, this guy is too dangerous. He doesn't have that name. Everybody know who I am. And he just the one that's smoky like those guys been saying right now. But he's a liar. He lied to all his fans. Say, "Oh, he got a Gilbert Burns fight." No, he's a liar. He ducked me.
Woodley fought Maia and was famously one of the most lackluster fights in the history of the UFC. After your performance against Maia, performance of the night, crazy finish. Does that give you another level of confidence going in against somebody like Tyron Woodley?
Yeah, 100%, especially Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley used to be a beast. Used to be that guy that everybody was, wow. How long ago? Like, last fight that he fought good was Darren Till. That was, I don't know how long ago. Then he got beat up by the champ. Then he's a rapper. He's a rapper so bad. Then, I don't know, he want to be an actor. I don't know what he wants to do, but, like, I don't see that Tyron Woodley. And then he was posting on social media, I'm on a killer mode. I'm gonna fight. Come on, bro. You're not that killer anymore. You're a rapper now. Now it's my time. you do nothing to Daniel Maia. You see what I did in 1 round? For sure, that give me a lot of confidence, and I want to face those guys next. Tyron Woodley or Colby Covington. That's the fight that I want. I know those guys might duck me, say, oh, blah, 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 Gilbert Burns, but I want to fight these guys.
Luis, I thought you were going to say something. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, no.
So, okay. So, all right. So you're not fighting right now. No fight lined up. When do you think you will fight again? Because the UFC, because you know what it's like. A lot of people like to talk shit about the UFC. It's a very popular thing to do. But they always treated me really good. And I know, they probably treat you good as well. So what did they tell you when the fight never took place? Have you got any idea who you'll fight and when that will be?
I have no idea right now. All that craziness is just. But one thing I know, Michael, what I'm gonna do. I took last week off. This week I start my physical therapies. I'm gonna start lifting a little bit in the garage. I'm gonna have a couple of guys coming, doing little grappling, little pads. I'm going to keep drilling, and I'm going to stay active. And to be honest, I'm like you. They say I'm like you. I like to work out a lot. Well, I like to outwork people, always running, always training.
That's because my body wants to be fat, Gilbert. Right? If I don't work, yeah. It's not because I'm like this crazy workout maniac. I'm like, ooh, let's get fit. No, I just want to be able to look in the mirror and feel good about myself. It's all ego. It's all ego. That's all it is. I don't want to be a fat bastard.
I have both. I'm both. I want to stay in shape. I want to stay ready, but I want to be fat too. So I got both.
All right, dude.
Yeah, I want to stay busy. I want to stay training. As soon as that craziness go away, UFC start booking. I want to be on that first card that they booking. I hope it's on April or May, but I want to be ready to go by April or May.
Well, you've done a few short notice fights as well. So is that something that as well that sort of you have in your back pocket? You know that you can get ready very quickly. And Bisping's talked about this before. Do you think there's any advantage on doing fast turnaround fights?
For sure. Think about it. I did it like 10 weeks camp for Maia. Think about if you get 10 weeks camp for 2 fights, that would be great, right?
Yeah. Hey, but that's what I did. But I did them off 2 losses. I got beat against George St. Pierre, and then I'm like, I'm going to go to China and get paid for another fight. Okay, I lost both of them, so don't do it like that. That definitely backfired. It didn't work out, but
you were in Uruguay, right? You were there in Uruguay.
Yes.
So that fight with that guy, Alexei
Kunchenko,
they called me, and I was like, what? Man, what kind of call is that? They call me, hey, do you want to fight that Russian guy 20-0 and 2 weeks notice? And I was like, 20-0? Let me look at that guy. Just look at that guy. I look at a couple of fights, and the guy was so slow that I say, oh, Harry, I'm getting that fight. Let's go to Uruguay. He said, yeah, I was going anywhere. I say, let's go. And then I took the fight. But a lot of guys, they be all, I fight anywhere. I fight. Okay, I'm going to call you right now and say, 2 weeks, you want to fight that Russian guy 20-0? I want to see how many guys going to take that fight, you know?
Yeah, well, I guarantee hardly anybody would take a 20-0 guy on 2 weeks' notice. And I was going to say, I like Damien. He's a fucking great guy. I love spending time with him. He's an intelligent, respectful guy. But when I looked at this matchup and I saw the performance that you had against Kunchenko, a guy that's a really good striker on the feet, and you beat him at his own game, and then you look at your jiu-jitsu, so I know you can match Damien in the jiu-jitsu. I was like, this isn't a good matchup for Damien. And I say that with respect, you know?
For sure. Me too. I said that, and I get another short notice with Gunnar Nelson too. On 2 weeks notice again. That was Maia was my first fight having the camp at welterweight, and I was able to finish it. So I think that showed a lot of my potential. And the way I break down Damien, to be very honest, I got to go through his system. Like, a lot of guys has a little system. And I know Damien's system, he set it up the shots. His time on the shots was better than I thought. And he has the system to go to the back. As soon as I knew if I break to the system, I'll be all right. And then I studied a lot of his system. And then I say, okay, he just cannot put the hooks, blah, blah, blah. And then I was able to manage a good, like, defensive grappling. And I was even a little upset that I couldn't show my offensive grappling against them, but I can't complain about a knockout.
You got the knockout, buddy. You got an extra 50K. It doesn't get better than that. And on that note, we'll let you go. Can't wait for your next fight. I'm a big fan over here. I know Lewis is as well. So thanks for taking the time, buddy. Really appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you guys for having me on the show. My pleasure. And I'm back. I'm back next fight.
Let's go. All right, buddy. Take care.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
The one and only Gilbert Burns.
There he is.
Nice guy. Man. What a nice guy.
What did you expect? An asshole? He's a lovely guy.
Man. I like Damien Maia. I felt bad. I was like, this guy's a real dickhead.
Yeah, but you can't not like Damien Maia. If you don't like Damien Maia, there's something wrong with you, because he really is just one of the nicest guys. And actually, I even feel bad saying I thought that was a bad matchup. But on paper, because Gilbert Burns hits like a fucking truck, and he is, as I said to him a moment ago, I said, when I first saw him and you see the size of him, I'm like, holy shit, how did this guy ever make 155? He's a legit welterweight. He's got the skills. He's got the grappling. He's got the knockout power, as we saw at the weekend. So, yeah, can't wait to see what he does next. And that fight with Woodley, that would have been interesting. That's a big fight for Gilbert.
He's smart because he's having a few like talking points. He says in it. He said he's a rapper now. He used to be a beast. These are like good little talking points that fucking MMA Mania and these little clickbait websites will for surely pick up on and print. So
yeah, just little subtle digs. Oh, he's a rapper now. He's an actor now. He used to be a beast. He's trying to do everything.
Used to be a beast is such a backhanded fucking dig.
Yeah. It's giving you a compliment, but also being the biggest slap in the face at the same time. It's like, oh, he used to be a beast. This guy used to be a beast. Anyway, Gilbert Burns, keep doing what you're doing, buddy. What do you think, Lewis?
Well, look, we got a couple minutes left here. I mean, we did get some questions. By the way, if you want to send in some fan questions, bympod@gmail.com is the email address. So shoot us your fan questions, video questions. We love them. We love the video questions. Send them in. Fan art. We will be featuring fan art on Instagram, on Twitter, on the show itself. If you guys... People have written us songs. People have written us rap songs. We had a poet, a BYM poet, which was fun for a little while. So the more creative you get, believe me, we love it. We appreciate the creativity. And honestly, the cringier it is, the more likely it'll get on the show. So let's get real.
They're definitely cringy. Some of the stuff we've had has been pretty bad. But on the flip side, some of it has been awesome. Some of it has been genius. So do please keep bringing that in. And Harrington, without further ado, what do we have in store this week?
Well, the first question you guys have in is from Gus Ayala. He says, "What's up, Bisping? What up, Blue Dog? This is Gus from Kansas City. Love the podcast and everything y'all do. You guys make warehouse work entertaining and provide a good laugh. My question is, do you think the judging/scoring in the UFC will change in the near future, and will it require some sort of petition or union in order to do so? There's been so many bad decisions, and judging is getting ridiculous. Love you guys. Keep what you're doing. Fuck Mike Harrington."
Well, first of all, my friend, don't end such a positive question on fuck Mike Harrington. Let's try and build Mike up. Let's build Harrington up. You know, let's give him props. Let's make him feel better. Let's build the self-esteem of Harrington, okay?
Michael, can you just say this to yourself 5 times in the morning before you start the show?
Let's build Mike Harrington. Let's give him self-esteem. No, can't do it. Fuck him. You're absolutely right. Do you know what? To be honest, in the YouTube comment section, I do see a lot of people saying, love this, listen to it at work. I'm a wagon driver, a truck driver. I listen to it in the truck or in the warehouse. So I get you, buddy, because for me, for years, I was a warehouse worker. For years, that's what I did, you know, loading trucks, just what you name it, whatever it was. And obviously, there wasn't podcasts back in those days, but listening to the radio was essential. Listening to some good music or some interesting talk on the radio or even some stupid bullshit like we give. So we do appreciate that. And I never thought of it like that. So thank you very much. Regarding the judging, you're right. Listen, there has been some horrendous decisions lately. So some judging, some scoring lately. But I'll tell you, I don't think it is going to change. Not anytime soon. I know there was talk about open scoring. I'd like to see that, to be honest. And then therefore the crowd kind of knows which judge scored the round for who. And you know, you'd get a reaction from the crowd. There'd be some booing and things like that. And I think the judges then would take it more serious. I don't know if maybe they're getting distracted. I don't know if they're looking at their phones or whatnot. But sometimes some of these judges don't know what they're seeing. However, that said, you know, this system has been implemented for some time and it definitely does need revision. I'd like to see more former MMA fighters being judges, although that's certainly a step down from grace for them. So, you know, you'd have to have your ego in check to do that. You know, if 1 minute you're in the octagon main eventing, the next minute you're sat at the sideline scoring the cards, you know, I wouldn't be signing up for that job anytime soon. I'm just being brutally honest. But to answer your question, in short, I don't see it changing anytime soon because there's so much red tape, there's athletic commissions, and there's so much stuff going on. But what do you think, Lewis?
I think it's a few things. Number one, fucking hire fighters. Hire fighters. They know what the fuck's going on. Every time I hear a fighter talk about it, they nail it. Every time.
Yes.
Even the dumbest fighters, fucking things, they know what they know. Hire fighters to judge.
But here's the thing. And I'm a fighter, so I am certainly not sitting here on my lofty perch and dissing fighters. Okay, I'm not talking shit about fighters, but fighters by their very nature of volatile human beings. Okay, we do not conform to the regular 9 to 5. And all the judges that I've met, they're fucking nerds, okay? And they stand there and they come in and they fill in the little boxes and they do all that. I don't know. I just don't think judging, whilst they are definitely Definitely the people most skilled for the job. I just don't know if they can be depended on.
I'll tell you right now. You want to fix MMA judging? I'll fix it right now. Okay.
Fix it, big boy.
I'm fixing it, baby boy. Okay.
No, big boy. Lewis, the big boy with the fixing skills. What you got? Fix it, Jim.
Get rid of the commissions altogether. Okay. Have the UFC private company hire their own judges. They hire just
can't do that. Can't do that.
Let me finish.
Okay. I'm just breaking down the points as they come. Though the UFC cannot hire the judges because therefore they are not impartial. There has to be a third party that puts the referees and the judges in place.
It's all bullshit,
Lewis.
though. I don't. To be honest with you, I would rather a company who has a vested interest in the outcome being fair be in charge. The UFC is not going. They're not going to pay the judges to judge one way or the other. The UFC wants the fucking fans to be happy. They want people to be satisfied at the end of the fight. They do not want bullshit judging. No. It's never good. It doesn't end well for the UFC. So let me make the point. Let me finish. Okay. So all right. Regardless, hire fighters. Okay. You put fighters in. They know exactly what's going on. Okay. And that will fix judging altogether. That will be all you need to do in order to fix the judging in the sport.
You're absolutely right. Judges, fighters, as I just said, and I'm kind of joking about the fighters being volatile. Of course, we're not all idiots. I am, but most fighters aren't. But the point you make about the UFC controlling it all, they can't do that. Even though, of course, the UFC would not pay a judge and then say, by the way, we want this guy to win. They'd never, ever dream of that because that delegitimizes the sport and then therefore it costs them more money in the long run. Once word was to get out that it's all a fix, it's all bullshit, and the UFC's favorite guys, whoever plays ball, they win. I mean, it just devalues the sport and takes the actual essence of sport out of it. So there has to be a third party adjudication system.
In the NFL and the MLB, they don't have an actual commission overseeing the sport.
No. But that's not down to a judge, though, is it? That's not down to a judge. In football, two teams go at it, and whoever fucking gets over that line and scores the touchdown, there you go. There's clear point scoring. There isn't clear point scoring in MMA. Of course, there's punches being landed, but there's punches being landed on both sides. At the end of it, they have to say who won. In football, to use that example, it's clear. Whoever gets the most touchdowns wins. Simple as that. It's not open for debate.
I mean, there's other things there's refereeing. I mean, there's definitely 100% issues there, and there's definitely been bad calls, and the NFL hires their own referees and their own officials. I don't think having the company who's, I don't think having the UFC be in charge of their own testing, being in charge of their own, making their own commission, I don't think that there's any downside for that. I'm not saying that the reason that they ended up implementing the boxing commissions is they were trying to legitimize the sport. So they were trying to get it in people's households. They were trying to get back on pay-per-view. They wanted to show everyone that this was a legit thing. But at this point, they've showed everyone that it's legit. They don't really need the athletic commissions. The athletic commissions, they get it wrong over and over and over and over again. So why not just sort of change the thing, which is the problem, which is you go to every different city, it's a different set of judges, different set of rules. Good.
But that is a good point. You do raise some very interesting points. However, again, going back to the fighters doing the judging, and I would like to see it, but there is problems. One of the problems being is that the fighters, they're too close to the sport. Most of the fighters, it's a small network. It's a small community. There's too much. The doors are open for a little bit of corruption there, right? Because they lean one way because they're friends with this guy, or they used to train with that guy, or I'm pals with his jiu-jitsu coach. I have an allegiance to Gracie Barra, and he's a Barra fighter.
Not if you pay them well. So if you were getting, let's say you were paying the judges.
You're saying that the moment money gets involved, there's no corruption? There you go. Pay them. No corruption.
I'm saying that you're not giving your friend a bullshit decision when you're getting paid $250,000 a year and you are a fucking UFC official. And you wear this badge right there. Hold on, let me say this. I watch you, who you fucking work for the UFC. You fucking... You don't do an official, you're just a commentator. You know what I'm saying?
If the UFC are going to pay judges $250,000 a year, sign me the fuck up, okay?
Yeah, they'd never get it wrong. They'd always get it right. They would
Judges
always
do
nail the
not get
decision.
paid that amount of money. The
I know
people
they
that-
don't.
And again, this is probably
should.
part of the issue as well. They should get well paid, but $250,000 is a bit of a stretch, right? But a lot of them are hobbyists. They're martial artists. A lot of them do have legitimate, martial art backgrounds. But yeah, nobody's getting paid that kind of money. But it's just a difficult one. Fighters is the perfect scenario. It is, but as I say, there is some sticking points, like the fact that it is a small community. A lot of the fighters all know each other, or they know sparring partners, or they know
that was actually the point I was going to make
extended network
about you, which is that you won't give picks for a fight if you're going to be commentating on it, right?
Yeah,
because there's a code there, and you're a professional. And I think when fighters' careers are at stake and salaries are at stake and win bonuses are at stake, I think that code is going to even hold that much more value. I think you could easily find fighters that would come in and do a substantially better job than any judge and fuck their allegiances back in the day. I think that they would care about the sport being legitimized. I think that that's an issue right now as you go to a certain city. It's like, oh, this guy's a boxing judge. He has no idea what's going on. They're not educated. It's an education process. It's either really educating these guys and really making sure that they understand what the sport is, or you put people in who understand it inside and out. Because I watch you analyze the sport in a much different way. I watch DC analyze the sport in a much different way than I watch guys who have never competed.
You are correct, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think also and this might not be totally true, but I feel like I'm not a million miles away. This whole theory that they're boxing judges and they don't even know what they're watching. I think that's a thing of the past now. As I say, a lot of them are martial artists. A lot of them hold black belts. A lot of them do know what they're watching. There just needs to be a minimum criteria. They have to understand wrestling, jiu-jitsu, all elements of the mixed martial arts. And I feel that there has to be an audition process. They should have to, let's say they have to watch 5 fights, and one of those fights is a clear-cut decision. One of them is, you know what I mean? They give them a bunch of variables, and they have to
do it like a casting couch,
and they have to fucking get it right. And if you can't judge them all right correctly, then you don't get the fucking job. Do you know what I mean? Not just base it all on, on his credentials on paper. Well, he did this, he did that, and he knows how to fill out a form correctly, so therefore he gets the fucking job. You know what I mean? No. What gives you the right to judge these high stakes fights where people have sacrificed 2 months of their lives to do this, and there's a fucking title shot on the end of it? If he wins this fight and gets screwed by the judges, you are fucking this guy's trajectory of his career. You're potentially taking away a life-changing fight for this man, right? So, not to mention half of his paycheck. So yeah, they should have to provide their credentials and do some kind of auditioning. Simple as that. And as I've always said, if there's ever a case where the judging is so blatantly wrong, they have to sit in a room with their peers and explain why they judge that fight that way. And if they can't give a reasonable excuse as to why they scored it a 10-9 for that guy and not that guy when he just beat the fuck out of him, then they are suspended or fired, one or the other.
All right, Harrington, let's get one more question. Is there a video question?
Yes, this is from Will Price.
I don't see a video. I see an album cover.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Look at Will.
Hello, guys. I'd like to know what you think of John Wayne Parr coming back to fight again in one championship. And what do you think of Australian martial arts in general? It seems like there's quite a lot of Muay Thai coming out of there. And Volkanovski was saying in his Rogan interview that they're about to take over MMA because people are going to stop. Because they've got a lot of high-level athletes in rugby that are going to switch over. And he thinks take over MMA. And also a little PS. Michael, can you explain what happens in your mind, your mental state, when you say the word plethora? Imagining it must have some amazing psychoactive effects. The word sycophant as well.
I hate this man so
yeah,
much.
No, I do. Listen, you're going to sit there and lecture me, but you can't even put your fucking headphones on correctly. What do you think you're doing? You're not a DJ. You are not DJing to a fucking gang of people, a massive, cracked, crowded nightclub, okay? You're standing there in a fucking room talking to your phone by yourself. You don't even need the headphones. Why have you got one headphone on? You absolute weirdo.
I hated that guy so much. I don't want to answer his questions. I don't know who the first person was that he named.
Volkanovski, whoever that guy
No,
is.
no, not Volkanovski. There was another guy.
Oh, John Wayne Parr. John Wayne Parr, legendary Thai boxer, who, by all accounts, according to Mr. One Headphone, has come out of retirement, which I am a little, don't think that's the right thing because, John Wayne Parr had a very, very long career, many fights, and I think he just recently retired. So if he's already coming out of retirement, then we see that. We see that all the time. Secondly, he says Volkanovski.
Also, no, he's not. He's fucking under quarantine, bitch. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, Mr. I don't even leave my name. Did he leave his name? What's he called? Let me see. Or let's guess his name. He looks like a Chad. What's his name? But he's English. Was he English or Australian? I think he was English. He looks like a Terrence or a Dave.
He looked like a dickhead. I don't like that. I don't know what it is about his face that really bothered me. His pop collar. That sucked. I hated his questions. I hated his attitude. I hated his cockiness.
Whoa. We're trying to get more video questions, not less. Listen,
that was Will Price.
We need a plethora of questions on this show, okay? And I will not stand there and listen to you like getting bigged up by your sycophants in the background, okay? Right? Simple as that. John Wayne Parr, if you're retired, stay retired. If you're not retired, best of luck. Volkanovski, listen, you're Australian. He's going to say that the Australians are taking over, but they're not. Simple. And fucking Adesanya is Nigerian, New Zealand. He's not even Australian. Robert Whittaker got knocked out. Love Robert. Can't wait to see him versus Darren Till. But come on, he is Australian, so he's going to say that. Just like I say, hey, English are great, and we're going to do fantastic. Which
also,
we are,
depending on who you're talking about, Bisping will claim Poland, California, Irish. I mean,
my mom is Irish.
Depending on the wind blows, Bisping will claim anything.
My mom is Irish. My ancestry is Polish. I live in California and I have a British passport. So all of them are fucking legit.
That's going to be an awesome gift.
And on that note, bon voyage. We'll see you on Wednesday. Take care, guys.